Hello everyone, and this is the first recording for your Windows Server Administration course, spring course at Tungsten Community College. With me, the cyber professor, Professor Gonzalez. Glad that you are joining us for this semester. So we are going to cover the course and instructor information for Windows Server Administration first, and then we are going to discuss a little bit about the different subjects that we are going to cover during the course. What I want to do is I want to tailor the course in a way that is beneficial to you based on the demand at the workplace for Windows Server Administration skills, and as well as the level of technology that different companies are using, the type of technologies that they are using, which is in a way very different from the type of technology they were using 5 or 7 years ago. So let us start with the course and instructor information. That will be the first slide that we are going to cover today. So the course description. The course introduces the student to the Microsoft Windows Server environment, and make sure that you pay attention to that I don't specify the version of Windows Server in the course description. It's just Microsoft Windows Server, and there is a reason for that, and I will explain that to you in a little bit. Students will be learning the basics of installing, administrating, and maintaining a Windows Server implementation for any company. The administration of user and group accounts will be part of some of the administration skills that you're going to learn. Active Directory, the use of Active Directory within Microsoft Windows, network protocols and services, and the introduction to Microsoft Azure Fundamentals. That is key. That is something that I am adding to the course because it will be a good bridge from the on-premise environment, which was used by companies a few years ago, 5, 7, 10 years ago, to the movement to the cloud, meaning moving the Windows servers to the cloud environment. In the case of Microsoft, using the Microsoft Azure environment, which is the cloud environment owned by Microsoft. So we are going to talk about the fundamentals of Microsoft Azure, so you become used to the environment, you know how to get there, you know how to manage some of the servers in that platform, so it is easier for you to make the additional or take the additional step of moving your skills from managing servers that are located in the company's buildings that you are supporting to the management of servers that are located in the cloud. And there is a difference about that. So the topical outline for the course is as follows. We are going to first talk about Windows Server implementation. And you cannot implement anything if you don't install that first. So I'm going to go over the installation of Windows Server for you, in a way for you to access Windows Server from your desktop or your laptop, as long as you have rather average memory and CPU resources on your computer. You will be able to install a version of Windows Server as a virtual machine on your laptop or desktop that you use to access this class, for example. And then I'm going to show you how to deploy WDS. WDS is an additional service or feature of Windows Server that allows for companies to deploy Windows desktop operating systems to the different computers that are part of the organization whenever there is a Windows upgrade, for example. So it's a very cool way of deploying operating system for other computers, not only desktops but also servers. We will cover Windows Server file services and disk encryption. We will move to Windows Server basic network protocols and services, Windows Server account and group policies. And then at that point, we are going to make the switch to the cloud environment, because I want to make sure that I offer you the full benefit of what Microsoft Windows in the server platform can offer you nowadays and companies nowadays. Why? Because traditionally this course was geared towards just Windows Server, and sadly, they were using Windows Server 2012 as the platform for the course. I want to enhance that experience for you by not concentrating on Windows Server 2012 alone, but also bringing into the equation Windows Server 2016, which is one that you will find deployed at many companies more than Windows Server 2012 nowadays, unless you're dealing with a very small company. But typically, medium to large size companies have moved to Windows Server 2016, and some of them to Windows Server 2019. And there are others that are deploying those versions of Windows Server in the cloud. So that is why I want to introduce the cloud concepts that you see right here in number 5. So we are going to talk about Azure cloud concepts and Azure services, the core Azure solutions and Azure management tools, general security and network security in Azure, and finally Azure identity governance, privacy, and compliance features. If you purchase the textbook that is recommended for this class, you may have noticed that the textbook is focusing on Windows Server 2012 and one particular Microsoft exam. Unfortunately, that exam that is listed as part of the front page of the textbook is not longer offered. So Microsoft is not offering that certification anymore and hasn't been offering that certification for quite some time. So that is why, to compensate that gap, what I want to do is I want to introduce Windows Server 2016. And even though there is no certification for Windows Server 2016 coming from Microsoft as of today, because that was also retired, I want to make sure that you have those skills, because Windows Server 2016 is used by companies nowadays. And then moving to the Azure cloud environment, you will have that additional skill that will bridge the gap between the on-premise environment to the cloud environment. Communications tools for this course are very important. Why? Because we are not meeting face-to-face on campus at Tennessee Community College. We have to rely on technology to communicate with each other. So Office 365 is the formal standard way of communicating between instructors, faculty, and students. So I advise you to check your Office 365 email, if not on a daily basis, at least every other day, because you will need to stay on top of communications that are given to you via your Office 365 account with Tensys. Microsoft Teams is the other way to communicate with me. For the students that have taken other classes with me, you guys know that I utilize Microsoft Teams a lot. So you can access Microsoft Teams from your desktop in the form of an app or a software application that you can install. This is the view of Microsoft Teams on my computer. You can also access Microsoft Teams from your mobile devices, so you can install Microsoft Teams as an app on your Android or even on your Apple iPhone. And the way to do it is the following. I'm going to show you. All you need to do is you need to go to the Google Store for Androids, or if you go to the Apple Store for your iPhones, just make sure that you look for Microsoft Teams as the option that you want to search for the app. And you're going to be able to, and this is my phone, this is real time, this is my phone screen. You will be able to find Microsoft Teams as an app in the Google Store or Apple Store, and the app will be installed as it is installed on my phone. As you can see right now, you see Teams, and if I open Teams, you will see that I have all the capabilities of communicating with people from my mobile device, my cell phone. So just make sure that you download and install Microsoft Teams on your mobile device, and you will be able to communicate with me via chat. I carry my phone with me pretty much everywhere I go. Of course, if I am recording classes or if I am doing live classes for other courses, I will not be able to get back to you right away. Or if it is not a convenient time in the evening for me, then I will not reply right away. But I will get back to you as soon as possible, and Microsoft Teams is the best way to communicate with me. So that is another communication tool that you need to rely on for this course. WebEx may be used during the course. I don't foresee that happening that often, but it is in the list regardless. YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel, so I will be posting some of the information there. I will send you the link via Blackboard, so you have the link in Blackboard as part of the announcements or as part of the course content folder within Blackboard, and you will be able to click on the link and go to the YouTube video that has the information, like the link that I will be placing in Blackboard for this video presentation that you are watching right now. I may also use Discord and Twitch for some of the communications. Those are optional, so those will be links to some of the technology live meetings or overviews that I will be conducting, not only for Tunxis students, but in general. So I am trying to be very active in the social media environment. So if you want to learn more, if there is a topic that catches your interest and you see that I am doing a live streaming on that particular content, you're more than welcome to join. So I will be sharing some of the links via the communication tools with you. As far as the course outcomes, what I am expecting for you guys to learn at the end of the course is be able to install Windows Server, that's number one, and then utilize WBDS. Configure file services and disk encryption, install and configure network protocols and services within Windows Server, of course, configure account and group policy for Active Directory accounts within the server, Windows Server, describe Azure Cloud Concepts and Azure Services, describe core Azure solutions and management tools. So now we are moving to the cloud environment. Describe general and network security in Azure, describe Azure identity governance, privacy, and compliance features. So what I want to make sure you get out of this class is the greatest and latest. So by doing that, you're positioning yourself better whenever you go and apply for a job, a technology job at any company, because you know that you bring with you the greatest and latest as far as the technology that is being used by Microsoft in the different environments. The grading for the course will be as follows. Participation will be 20%. So you may ask, how can I participate if we don't have any live meetings? Or if we are not conducting the face-to-face approach like on campus as we used to. So the participation that I am looking for is the active communication with me using the communication tools that you see right here. So if I see students that are reaching out to me with questions or with concerns or with interest for the course, showing the interest for the course via the communication tools that are listed here, then that is part of the participation aspect of your grade. Midterm and final exam, there will be a midterm around second week of March, and then the final exam, of course, close to the end of the semester, and I will be providing the information for those two exams as we get closer to that, to those dates. The weekly assignments and the labs are the important piece, not for this first week because we had many Blackboard issues, system issues. We are moving away from those issues hopefully by the end of this week, and then as of Sunday you're going to see, or actually as of Monday morning at the latest, you're going to see the first set of assignments that you will need to work on, official assignments. Aside from the video that you're watching right now, I will be posting one additional or maybe two additional videos. Most likely I will consolidate those two videos that I have in mind into one, and those will be giving you the instructions on how to install Windows Server 2012 and Windows Server 2016 as a virtual machine on the desktop or laptop that you're using to watch this video. It is free software that is given to you either by the hypervisor company, in this case Oracle, or the operating system vendor, in this case Microsoft. So those two links will be provided as part of the video. I'm not gonna put the link in the instructions in Blackboard. You will see the link in the video, so you need to watch the video in which I will show you how to install Windows Server 2012 as a virtual machine on your laptop. No prerequisites. As long as you have enough memory and enough CPU, you should be fine. So you will watch that in the video. So that will be for the first week as preparation for the work that we are going to do with WDS next week. And the WDS content, which is the first topic that we are going to cover during this course, will be given to you no later than Monday morning, and so forth. So every week you're going to see the new set of assignments and content on Monday morning as of 12:01 or 1 a.m. in the morning. You're going to see the set of assignments, and everything is due by Sunday night. That is the way that I work, and for people that have taken courses with me in the past semester, you know how I go about the assignments, weekly assignments. So I give the homework on Monday morning, very early in the morning, and it is due on Sunday night every week of the semester, of course, except for the week off that we have in March for this spring semester. My contact information, this is my name, Jorge Gonzalez. I go by Professor Gonzalez, or the Cyber Professor for Cybersecurity. This is my email address with Tansis Community College. Make sure the spelling is correct for my last name. The last letter of the last name is S, not Z. This is the phone number at the college. It's not a cell phone, it is a desk phone, an office phone at Tansis Community College. So don't try to text that number because you will not get any replies. And the best way to contact is what I showed you earlier, Microsoft Teams. Download Microsoft Teams on your mobile devices. Get used to communicate with that, because many companies in the workplace are using Microsoft Teams. So it's good that you get used to that. And then my office hours are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Now, you may say I am either working or taking other classes in the morning, and that is fine. If you need to talk to me live, one-on-one, just make an appointment and we can talk in the afternoon or in the evening, early evening, if you have a need. This is a graphical representation of what we will be covering. Windows Server 2016 is depicted here. Windows Server 2012 is depicted here. We are using the R2 standard version of Windows Server 2012, and will be using the same Windows Server standard version for 2016. But I want again to emphasize that I will be enhancing the course from the course description by offering you content that perhaps you're not supposed to get as part of this course, but I want to make sure that you are equipped as best as possible for dealing with technology, Windows Server technology in the cloud environment, and that is why I am introducing Microsoft Azure as a component of this class. The course map. This is the way that we are going to go about things during the course. Is first we are going to talk about Windows Server implementation, and then we are going to quickly switch to Windows Deployment Services, or WDS. Then we will cover Windows Server File Services and disk encryption. Then we are going to move to Windows Server Basic Network Protocols and Services, the Windows Server Account and Group Policy, the Azure Cloud Concepts, and Azure Services. So this is the point in our map in which we move away from the on-premise environment for Windows Server, which covers 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this map, and we make the switch, or we go to the cloud as part of number 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all in the cloud environment. So now we are working on Azure Cloud Concepts and Azure Services, core Azure Solutions and Azure Management Tools, general security and network security in Azure, and Azure Identity Governance, and finally Azure Privacy and Compliance features. All of these course sequence is powered by your cyber professor, the one and only, the one that is speaking to you right now. So I am designing the course this way to make sure that you get the best out of it for this semester. So that will cover the first recording that I have for you. Again, I will be posting a set of instructions on how to install Windows Server 2012 and Windows Server 2016 in a virtualized environment next. Thank you very much.